last year, I quit my job. I didn't put in 2 weeks notice. I didn't have any jobs lined up. Didn't even have any interviews lined up. I just quit. And it was one of the best decisions I could have made in my life. Honestly, like my world has changed a lot. So I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. I was going to release this video the exact year after I quit my job, which was September 19th, which would have been last week, but that video got way too dark and it was really, really long. So I'm going to try to just give some highlights and, just kind of talk about my overall experiences. So look, the thing is, I would never recommend that you just up and quit your job if you have nothing else lined up, because you don't know how long it's going to take you to find another job. But there's two big reasons why I quit my job. Number one is just kind of taking you back to my very first apartment. When I was like 17 or 19, something like that, I had a job and everything was fine. I had my first apartment. I lived by myself and everything was great until I lost that job. Losing that job changed me quite a bit because I was in a situation where I just had no money. I had no money. I had minutes on my phone. I was down like 4 minutes on my phone. Sometimes I had to skip meals. I was eating nothing but ramen noodles. Like it was rough. Finishing out that lease was a nightmare. But I learned a big lesson that day that helped me and has helped me ever since. And it's the value of saving money. So it didn't matter, if I was making 10,000 a year or 100,000 a year, no matter what, every single paycheck, I would always save at least a little bit of money. And so one of the reasons why I quit my job is because I knew I had that money saved. I knew that I could allow myself to have a little bit of wiggle room to work on some of the issues that I had. The second reason is around mental health. So I'm not going to get too far into this because that would be the whole video that I'm not going to release, that just got way too depressing and stuff. But I have had depression issues my entire life and it's never going to go away. I've accepted that. But I have been able to better manage it, I think, than when I was younger. So, that is what it is. But last year was rough. I failed my CISSP exam, which was the most expensive exam I had ever taken at the time. And the company didn't pay for it. So that was $700 that just got wasted. And then I also had family pass away. I had a coworker that I was close to pass away. COVID was still a big thing last year. And our boss, my boss tried to force us to go back in the office, even though, COVID was still a thing. And I hated it. I hated every part of it. It wasn't just mental health. It ended up being physical as well. The month that I left, I ended up in the emergency room twice. I ended up in urgent care once. My body was just shutting down, along with me mentally shutting down. So it was a bad time, man. I almost, multiple times I wanted to just change careers because I just couldn't deal with what was going on. And so ultimately what happened was I just quit. I turned in all of my stuff one day. It was on a weekend. Nobody was in the office, but I walked in the office. I set all my stuff down. I sent emails to all of my vendors and stuff and let them know, hey, today's my last day. I gave him the contact person, who was my boss, gave him the contact person and said, he's the person you guys will be working with from now on. I gave my boss a copy of all the passwords and stuff that I had that was just mine, because I was the only person that could access some systems. And then I left. I quit. I didn't try to screw over the company when I left, even though I was really unhappy. But yeah, I quit. I just couldn't take it anymore. Either I was going to quit that job or I was just going to hit a point mentally that I couldn't come back from. And so I learned a lot of valuable lessons. One of the big things that I learned is, first of all, I thought it would take a maximum of maybe 3 months for me to find another job. It took 7 months for me to find a job. But there's a reason for that. The reason is because I started to realize the value of myself. I started to realize the value of, how much money I should be making. I was making good money at my last job, but nowhere near as much as I should have been making. And so I started to pay attention to how much money I should be making in the industry. And I started to kind of build confidence and stand up for myself in interviews. And what ultimately ended up happening was, even though it took 7 months to find another job, I ended up getting a job that pays almost 70% of what I made at my last job. And I've almost always been salary. So 70%. I need you guys to understand how big of a deal that is. Okay. I usually get I want to say an average of 5% raise at my last job. And to get to 70% would have taken me, I don't know, 14 years, I think? It would have taken 14 years of working at that other job to make as much as I make now. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what it is. Taking that leap of faith, when I tell you it changed my life, I mean it. I make almost 70% more than I made back then. But that's not all, because everything has changed. I now work fully remote. I have always wanted to work fully remote. COVID devastated a lot of people, and I understand. There's a quote that I always follow that says, in the midst of chaos comes opportunity. And that's what it was. Again, that leap of faith was taken, and it was taken because I had money saved, but, you just never know. Didn't know how long it was going to take me to find a job, but, I make more money now. I work fully remote. I am working with a boss that I absolutely love the dude. He's cool. He's awesome. He took a chance on me, and I will forever appreciate it. Like I said, the company's good too. My opinion is actually valued, right? Like, I felt like at my last job, every time I asked a question, it was, oh, well, we have to get you in a position where you can make decisions for yourself. That was exactly what I was told. But then when I would make a decision for myself, it was like, no, we're going to do it this way. I want to do it this way instead. You should ask, questions before we just do this. And it's like, oh my God. But it's not like that here. I can, I really feel like I'm valued, like I matter. And it's just a completely different experience. And one of the great things is that now that and I've been in this role for, like 6 months now, but with that change, with that leap of faith, even my mental health is a little bit better. I've kind of always known this about myself, but I think one of the ways that really helps me to deal with my mental health is, helping other people. I guess you can say I'm kind of a giver, and I don't know. But yeah, so, me being able to now, donate to charities, and I'm trying to, find ways to either, volunteer my time for like homeless shelters or, animal shelters too, things like that. Just finding ways to give back means a lot to me. And, honestly, just keeping it real with you here, I make really, really good money. And I'm one of those people that as my income increases, it just allows me to give back more. I'm not the type of person to go, oh, okay, I make more money, so I'm going to go spend a whole bunch more, right? I learned that lesson a long time ago, so I don't have that problem anymore. But financially, it has also opened up a lot of opportunities. So if you guys are new to this channel, this is kind of going to be my vlog style channel. Right now, I'm talking a lot about Western Governors University, which is a school I'm going to next year. That would have never happened. I would not be going to WGU if I wouldn't have taken that leap of faith and left my job. I just wouldn't have been able to afford it. Also, for the first time, I know this might be a little TMI, but like, you see that? You see that huge gap in my teeth? I've had that since I was like a little kid. And I can actually afford to get that fixed. So maybe I'll get that fixed. I don't know. But yeah, it's just life has changed. So yeah, 2021 sucked, hated it. 2022 was a lot about finding myself, and changing things up. And then the way I see it, next year, 2023 is going to be a crazy grind, trying to, both, do my bachelor's and my master's, try to get all that stuff done in 1 year. We'll see. But, yeah, man, taking that leap of faith, just really reflecting and thinking about where I was last year to compared to where I am now, it is a huge change. So that's it. I'm happy to continue to share my journey with you guys. and I'll keep making videos about, what happens, successes, failures, things like that. You guys are here for the long run, or even if you leave and come back a year from now, you'll be able to see what's happened. But yeah, man, that leap of faith changed my life, and now I can give back more. I feel a little bit better. Not every day is perfect, but we're getting through there. So if you are thinking about quitting your job, if you're really stressed out, if you're going through a lot, please try to save money, because you just never know, when you need to leave. But taking that leap of faith, trying, you just never know, man. Like, sometimes taking a calculated leap of faith can change everything for you. And that's what happened with me. So yeah, that's it. I know this isn't really the usual type of video that I make, but it's a blog style channel. I'll probably put random videos up every now and then. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest, as it has been a year. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do another kind of reflection video in a year and see what's changed since then. But until my next video, I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys have any mental health issues or things that you're struggling with, I hope it works out. Know that a lot of issues are temporary, and things will eventually get better. Know that sometimes you have to take steps back in life. When I quit my job, I was a little bit nervous. I live alone now, just like I lived alone when I had my first apartment. And when you don't have money coming in, you're taking a step back in life. But sometimes you just have to step back. Sometimes you have to fall a little bit. It's okay. Situations happen where they might be beyond your control, or you might need to do them for mental health or to help somebody else out, or whatever it is. But yeah, just know the grass is greener on the other side. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. I'm looking forward to 2023. And I will make sure that you guys know pretty much every step of the way what's going to happen. And yeah, I'm excited. So until my next video, you guys take care.